I'll fight you bare knuckle. Outside, would you put your money where your mouth is?
Happy to go with 4.
You keep interrupting me, bro, and you keep cutting, and now you're f***ing up my negotiation.
If I bet real money that I've got, he won't be able to afford it.
Dude, I got $5.5 mil sat in my bank right now.
£796.45 in Samuel Leeds Developments Limited.
Yep.
Samuel Leeds Property's got 9,900. So it's less than you said.
Well, I got obviously other accounts and personally.
You want to up it? 100 grand. What is that there? The video you're about to watch is the contract negotiations between Samuel Leeds and myself, and it gets sweaty and heated, and more money is put on the table. I'm going to knock him the f*** out. If you want to see that happen, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on.
The contract agreement is basically you and Rob, and it's basically the following that both parties will agree. So ring size, 18 foot, 16-ounce gloves, sparring gloves. Both parties to wear head guards. Number of rounds in a boxing match. Spoke to Rob. Was keen on 4 rounds, not 3.
I was keen on 5.
I think 5 rounds is good in terms of there's less likely a chance of a draw. But I'll leave that up to you two to agree.
Yeah, we can discuss that, can't we?
Length of the rounds will be 2-minute rounds, as per this level of boxing, rather than 3 for the pros. 1 minute rest between each round. Scoring will be on the professional style of 10 must system.
What does that mean?
So basically, each round you will go in with 10 points. Okay.
Yeah.
If you lose the round, you go to 9 points. Okay. You lose next round, go to 9 points. Every round starts at 10. If you lose the round, you go from 10 to 9. You stay at 10. Okay. If there's a standing count or a knockdown in that round, you go from 10 to 8. 2 standing counts or 2 knockdowns in the same round, you go to 7. 3, the fight will be over. Okay, in the same round. 3 independent judges will score the contest. Yeah. Okay, and there will be 1 experienced referee facilitating the contest.
Yeah. And they'll be independent judges.
Completely independent.
Good. Independently chosen by Rob.
Whatever.
They certainly will not be. I'm not here to represent either.
Yeah, all right.
I don't think the independence of the referee will matter. I think it'll be obvious who wins.
Hopefully. Yeah. You know, it's honestly, if it's close.
Yeah. Well, that's why we've got Darren here, because this is what he does. Yeah.
And then there's just a little bit about party 1 and party 2. Rob Moore,
you mate Darren.
Had we
never met before. The only connection is he
just
came
twice. You met twice.
No, just one.
I met Rob once when he invited me to be a part of this. Yeah. And we discussed this, and this is the second time I've met Rob. Rob came to one of my events when Andy Harrington fought for me. Yeah. I never met
we didn't even talk.
Didn't talk there.
No.
I didn't even know Rob was there, to be fair. And I actually follow both of you online. So,
if you want, via someone else, but via Darren's blessing, because obviously he's running it. If you want to have some influence in terms of who the referee is, I don't care who the referee is.
I think it just needs to be independent, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's because I think that with white collar boxing, it can be quite close.
So generally white collar boxing, the referee would make the decision. Yeah. So that's how it is. So all of my events, other than when we step on up to semi-professional, the referee will ref the bout and choose the winner. Yeah. Even at the low level of pro, the referee.
Yeah, but that's not with 50 grand on the table.
No, and that's why. And that's why, because there's £50,000 on the table, we do need 3 independent judges to score this because of the volume of money.
Yeah.
Rather than just the referee, because it's very hard for a referee to facilitate proceedings and make sure it's all safe and good. Yeah. And score at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And 50 grand, yeah, that's what we said, isn't it? 50 grand each, winner takes all.
Winner takes all.
Cool. In terms of the gloves and stuff then in the rounds, because I know we did speak briefly, didn't we, about I was sort of saying 3, you were pushing for 4 or 5 and different stuff. I mean, I've been doing a little bit of, looking and sparring and stuff like that. I mean, 16 ounce is pretty big.
So 16 ounce would be standard for a white collar fight.
But so would 3 rounds, wouldn't it?
So would 3 rounds, yes.
Well, not on the main fight though. The main fight.
So the main fight would normally be a minimum of 4. But if you was, so there's 2 options. So there's,
my fitness is not good. That's my only
you have got
concern
19
We've got
weeks.
20 weeks.
Yeah, I know I've got time
Yeah.
to train.
And you're a lot heavier than me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Rounds wise, I'm happy for whatever you guys decide. Gloves wise, I'm happy for whatever you decide. If you guys turn around and say, we don't want to wear head guards and we want to be in 10-ounce gloves, we can facilitate
how would you
that.
feel about that?
I let you choose the style of fight, so I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered.
I think the only thing about head guards is, in my mind, and again, I'm relaxed. I mean, I'm not like coming here saying it has to be like this, this, and this. I'm quite relaxed. I mean, I think 3 rounds would be better because I know I couldn't do 5 because I'll be.
But we already agreed 4, didn't we? You and I.
We talked about
privately.
4. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. The reason. All right.
did.
Look, I might think I'd have an advantage in 5 because I'm a bit slimmer. But as we are the main fight, I think we've got to at least have 1 more round than the undercard. Otherwise, we're just doing the same as everyone else. So if you want 3 and I want 5, 4 feels like a fair meet.
I mean, the only thing is with 4 is it's a bit of an awkward one to judge, isn't it?
Is it? I mean,
it
there's a 3-panel referees.
So
It's true.
there's 3 referees that could all see it different. But if it's very clear that you win rounds 1 and 3 and you win rounds 2 and 4 with no argument, it's very clear, there is a draw.
What's wrong with that?
Then no one gets 50 grand.
Yet. Double or quits.
Now, we can discuss in that scenario.
To me, I'm not overly fussed, except I think it's got to be at least 1 round more than the other undercard.
Desirably,
Otherwise, it's
yes.
not a main event, is it?
Desirably.
Though, isn't it? Because it's us fighting. It's doesn't have to be necessarily 4 rounds.
It doesn't. Desirably, the main event would always be more than the rest of the card, but it doesn't
And standard
have to
white
be.
collar is 3.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I don't know if you've done this before, but mate, it's tiring, bro.
It is.
I'm away. I'm away all next month filming TV stuff. That's why I was pushing a little bit for the date back. I know we've got a long time. I'm away next week for 3 weeks. I'm going to Zimbabwe for 3 weeks in April. And then I'm back to back with events. And I'm just thinking like, fuck, I don't want to be like...
You better be shadow boxing on stage, man.
I don't want to be... That's why I think I would rather 3. But I mean, I'm not going to like push like crazy.
I'll let you two finalise
Well, I think
that.
we should decide it now. That's why we're here.
Okay, let's finalise that between you.
Well,
What
I
you
think
is
you
best.
said to me 4, and I felt like I was making a concession because you wanted 3 and I wanted 5.
Yeah.
I felt like 4 was the meat in the middle. I think it should be 4 because, 1,700 people are going to be coming to watch you and me, and they're going to want a bit more of a feast than just the undercard. And if that's a disadvantage to you, you have to knock me out in round 1. You just have to play your game. I think it should be 4. I think it should be 5, but I know you're not going for that.
No, I said right up front, I said that
You
about
did.
5.
Yeah.
And you did say, how about 4? And I
Yeah,
did say,
you
I think
did.
I could do 4.
Yeah, you
I
did.
did say that.
Yeah.
But then, it's much more likely we'll get a draw at 4.
It's a possibility.
And
of
also,
a
I was
draw,
thinking in my head, the date will be a little bit further away as well. Like, I was pushing for a further date. I know you really wanted the 1st of July. I'll be much more comfortable with 3 rounds. Just because of my fitness, like, I'm going to be, mate, 20 seconds punching a bag, I don't want it to be really boring. Where we're just like, maybe you wouldn't be. Maybe you're fit. What could I do in terms of anything else where I could be more flexible to make you feel happier with 3? Because I don't want you to feel pissed off.
Two to 1 odds in my favour.
How do you mean?
If I win, I'm just joking. You're not going to go for that. 2 to 1 odds would mean I get 100, you get 50. I feel like you told me it would be 4, and I felt like that was a meet in the middle, which is I think we've got.
We didn't have a date at that point, and I was pushing hard, Russell, to be getting it back.
The only things that can be changed is the rounds or the length of rounds in terms of that aspect of the fight.
3 minute?
I mean, there's lots of things for you though, Rob, isn't there, that could make things. I mean, my question was, in terms of, you know, is there anything I could do to make you feel happier with 3 rounds? Because I do think with my availability of where I'm at with training, it's like, it's just gonna. I think it's too much. I did 1 white collar before, which was 3. And
the only thing I would say with the white collar you've done before is
Yeah.
there probably wasn't as much on the line.
Mhm.
So mentally, you'll probably have a different aspect.
Yeah. Well, what can I do, Rob? What can make you feel? What can make you feel happier with 3? Is there any other area where I could be more flexible, or anything that I could do where you'd be?
So what if? So let's say
Well, let's do
we agreed to 3. Is there? I don't know. Do you want different gloves? No
I don't
head
care about the
guards?
gloves. I don't care about the head guards.
Weights.
So I'll give you whatever you want on that, really. Don't care about the size of the ring. I care about the independent judges because that's fair for both of us.
I
Which
think so.
we've got 3 of them, so I think that's important. I care about an experienced referee. I care about it being run professionally by a professional.
Yeah.
So you can choose gloves, you can choose head guards, or not bothered.
So
Have you got any thoughts, Sully? What do you think? Do you think I'm being over the top about the whole 4 thing, or do you understand my concerns?
Like what he's saying, like I didn't know it was like going to be an event and stuff. So there's undercard and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
And then like you're the main event.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be more.
the
If
whole
you
show,
sell half the
Most of
ticket,
my friend.
the whole show is you two.
you haven't
guys.
paid him yet. That's right.
The whole show is you two guys, and the undercard is a boost, so that there's more.
Have we booked the ring yet?
Have we booked the ring? No,
Yeah.
I can change the size.
Maybe we've got a smaller ring, because the ring's quite big.
18
Maybe-
foot is
maybe
fairly
a-
standard.
Like a 16-foot ring, because it's less tiring with a smaller ring.
So you would change? Would you go to 4 rounds and a 16-foot ring?
Yeah.
You happy with that?
So I don't know.
So
I thought you said that you were chilled about everything apart from 4 rounds. It's only 2. If we have 10-ounce gloves, no head guards, and a 2-foot smaller ring, that will be a lot less tiring for me.
okay. So in terms of head guard,
Well, when you said you thought I said I was chill. All I said is I don't know. I didn't say no.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said I don't care about head guards. I don't care about gloves.
No, but I was asked about the smaller ring. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't really know the
Yeah.
difference. I would just assume we would
okay.
go with whatever standard.
I've fought in a 14-foot ring and I've fought in a 22-foot ring.
And what's standard?
18 foot is fairly standard. I have an 18-foot ring at all of my shows.
If we go and train, for example, we go to a normal gym.
It will
What's
be
the size of a ring?
somewhere between 16 and 20 as average in a boxing gym.
Because it doesn't make any sense for us to fight in a ring that's different from the ones we would train at
the
clubs.
The
does
one
it?
that I'm planning to train at is 16. Yeah.
So the gym I go to,
I'm being up front now.
Yeah.
My cards
so the
on.
gym
Yeah.
I train at, for example, they've got 3 rings there. One's just a tiny training room, it's 14 foot. The other one is a 16 foot and the other one is a 20 foot.
Okay, so independently, bearing in mind there are other fighters on this, what would be the best size of ring? Independently, just to average out all the fights. What would make the best fights, the best show?
I
What would be
like
right?
I like an 18-foot ring because it's enough space but not too big. 16 foot it is only 2 foot smaller. It will be an advantage to some and a slight disadvantage to others, but not
It'd be an advantage to bigger, slower people.
in terms of they won't be able to move as much or won't need to move as much. So it depends on your boxing style. Obviously, I don't know either of your styles. I've never seen either of you box.
Yeah.
But if you're a very come-forward fighter and you're looking to get your opponent on the ropes and that is your tactic, and you are a
It'll be easier to
floaty, dancey fighter that's going
It'll
to
be
jump.
easier to knock somebody out in a smaller ring.
Yes. Because there's less places
Because
to
all I'm
run.
thinking is, I know about the last 4 rounds. If it gets to 4 rounds on the 4th round, I'm gonna be so shit in the 4th round. And I know
A 16-foot ring
with the
is-
amount of events that I've got on, I know I haven't got that much time to train. So that's why I'm thinking if I'm gonna have to do 4, that's why I was thinking if we go the slightly smaller ring and the smaller gloves and the no head guard, then at least I can knock you out then. Because if you've got a big head guard and massive gloves and a big ring to run around, I'll just knock you out.
Okay, so
That's me putting my cards on the table.
a head guard point of view, a head guard will not necessarily reduce a knockout. The main reason for a
Mate,
head
you got
guard,
to hit me to knock me out.
Yeah.
the main reason for a head guard, especially at lower level,
Are we being recorded right now as well?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
What did you think the microphone was?
I'm so used to being on camera, I didn't even really think anything,
so the main point for a head guard would be, especially at lower level, is there's more chance of a head clash because you're not as experienced, and it will nullify cuts.
It's not good from a marketing perspective, is it, though, the head guard? It looks a bit shit.
It would look far better without one, no if buts maybes, but you are both at a higher risk of getting cut with a head clash.
What do you mean by cut?
So if you both clashed heads, you would open
Oh,
up.
it's more about knocking heads.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not about. I thought it was to protect you.
And even so, you got to remember. So a head guard would normally be around here.
Yeah.
So most gloves, if that landed with a leather glove and a twist, it's less likely to split the eyebrow. And with a head clash, you're far less likely because you've got a cushion. Now, if that cushion isn't there,
Yeah. Why do you want to do four rounds so bad?
Well, I wanted to do 5
All right, but why do you want to do more than 3?
because I think it gives me an advantage.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Sit here and negotiate what doesn't give you an advantage?
No,
Of
we're
course
going to
you're
try
not.
and negotiate what's best for us.
So you want a smaller ring for your advantage.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's 2 reasons. One is I would back myself to be able to fight 5 rounds. And 2, we are the main event. So people will be coming all over the country. They might be even been flying in. I've sold 60 odd tickets already. They're not even on sale.
Yeah.
For 3 2-minute rounds. A 2-minute round is already a 1-minute round, less than a 3-minute round. So I just think we're shortchanging them a bit. I think at least 4. I'll go whatever you want on the gloves. I'll go whatever you want on the head guard. I think we do 18 feet, ring, 4 rounds.
What do you think, Sholay?
You didn't like his last answer.
No, I know.
You're going to ask him until
I
he gives
wish
you the one you want.
What you saying
Do you,
about-
if you're his fan, do you want to fly over and see 3 rounds or 4 rounds?
You want to see him win, isn't it? Yeah. But
You do.
10-ounce gloves, that's hard stuff.
Yeah, good.
That's hard, as in
they're much smaller.
They're smaller
much
gloves.
more likely to get knocked out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very easily, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, very easily knocked out with 10 ounce.
Generally, at this level of fighting, we would put you in a 16-ounce glove.
Fair enough, but I would say if for the whack, 12 is good. I think 12 is usually a good. Because it's there, but it's not.
What do you think? 10, 12 or 16?
16 is what people spar in.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's like sparring, isn't it?
16-ounce sparring glove. I put all of my guys in sparring gloves, 16-ounce, because of their level. Punches get thrown from funny angles. Much more cushioning for the hands, less likely to break a hand, that kind of stuff. A 10-ounce glove is a fighting glove. They're small, and you'll feel it through your hands. There's more chance of either of you breaking a hand in a 10 than a 16, and it's far more likely one of you.
How much? What do they wear when they a normal fight that you would say like a professional fight?
10 ounce.
10 ounce.
It's a 10-ounce fight, unless they were super light and it go down to 8. But for your guys' weight, it'll be a 10-ounce.
And with the ring size, do you have 16-foot rings? Or?
I can sort a 16-foot ring, yes.
I mean, doing 4 rounds, I'd want to give myself the best advantage to knock you out. Giving away my game plan now. I guess it kind of obvious though, isn't it?
Yeah.
The goal is to knock the opponent out. Are you absolutely then, you're not going to be happy, are you, at less than 4 rounds? There's not really anything I could do to make you change your mind on that, is there? I don't think.
So if you're happy to go
You
with
can't
4,
keep interrupting me, bro. When I'm asking him a question, he's just thinking time. You keep cutting, and now you're f***ing up my negotiation. Speak to me, my brother. Every time I ask him that question, what do you need from me to make you go to 3 rounds? And I'm waiting, and he just goes to speak, and then Darren will say something.
just trying to prompt it.
No need to prompt. I want to know what Rob's going to say.
I'm quite surprised. I didn't really expect you to come with so many particulars.
It's only one though.
Well,
So
it's the ring, the gloves, the head guards,
No.
and the rounds. So that's
Yeah.
that's everything.
No,
that's
only
everything.
only if I'm forced to do 4 rounds and I then buy
Okay,
like
so
the
what
other
you're
stuff.
saying is, if it's 3 rounds,
I'm chill.
it's 18, 16. Because look,
Yeah.
I'll fight you
Yeah.
bare knuckle outside, but that's not safe and
Yeah.
that's not good. We've got to be safe.
Yeah.
I know, you know, you knock me out fine, and knock you out fine, but we're not professional fighters.
Yeah.
And our undercard, we've got.
That's
to
exactly what
so-
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying
so,
I'm saying 3 rounds and then you can pick everything else. Like in the same way that you said 4 rounds and I can pick everything else. I'm saying 3 rounds and you can pick everything else. But if you're absolutely adamant on 4, I'm not gonna, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say fight cancelled.
Yeah. Okay. As a professional, Darren, who runs.
Sorry, Darren. I just needed to hear Rob's thoughts on
That's
that.
fine.
So.
I'm glad you said sorry.
As a professional, talk to me about 10-ounce gloves, because I just feel like that sounds to me maybe not a professional thing to do at this stage. I'll wear
Okay.
10-ounce gloves. I'll be faster, but
There's no problem with either of you winning 10-ounce gloves, but from my point of view, seeing this from an outside person, even not as a professional in this industry, this is supposed to be a white collar bout. Neither of you have really any experience. One white collar, a little bit of kickboxing in the past. You're inexperienced fighters. The idea is to entertain everyone to the best of your ability and both go home safe to your friends and family. On that basis, I would recommend a bigger glove than 10 ounce and consider still wearing head guards in case of a head clash. Now, we can bring in cuts people and that kind of stuff, but obviously you're both professionals, you're both face fronting in terms of your audiences. The last thing you want is cut eyebrows. You know, there can still be a winner with 16-ounce gloves and a head guard. You can still get a knockout in 16-ounce gloves and a head guard. Is it harder? Yes. Is that maybe more of a disadvantage to yourself being the slightly heavier man? Possibly, yes.
Yeah.
But you put him in 10s, he's got a lighter glove on, his hands might move faster. So, yeah, there's advantages and disadvantages on both sides. I've got no problem with either of you not wearing a head guard. I hate wearing a head guard. I feel like my head's very restrictive and I don't move the same when I fight. So I'm very happy, but I would say a minimum of 12 ounce. I wouldn't go to a 10, would be my advice.
What are you thinking, Rob?
I'm happy no head guards, if that's what you want.
Well, I think what we've got, what it seems to me like would probably be fair, would be one of us chooses how many, whether 3 or 4 rounds, and then the other one chooses the, you know, the weight and size of the gloves and stuff. That'll probably be reasonable. So it's not completely one way.
Is it going to let down the show if we're only 3 rounds?
I don't think it will let down the show, but as a rule of thumb, and you know, we're making the rules because it's your show.
Yeah.
As a rule of thumb, the main event would generally be more rounds than the rest of the card.
What about if they were 3 minute?
I think that's
I would
You don't like
advise
that?
4 twos
Yeah.
over 3 threes. Mainly because 3 threes is 9 minutes and 4 twos is 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're actually making him go even longer and less rest time between,
Yeah.
so it's actually a harder fight.
All right. I've got a proposal then.
Go on, my friend.
We'll go 3 2 minute.
Yeah.
So you get what you want. We do 18-foot ring.
Yeah.
I don't mind about the head guards. We can choose 12-ounce minimum on the gloves, but I don't mind.
Yeah.
And your team are faster to respond to us so that we can move this forward.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
See, I knew there was something that he wanted outside of the ring, and it was the speed, I think.
well, you were 18 minutes late for this.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right. I can make that happen.
okay. So 3 rounds.
I think 12 is probably better, isn't it?
I think it's safer.
A little bit safe. It's still light and quick, but it's safer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't forget, I've given you the 3.
No. You can choose.
Yeah.
You can choose.
Yeah. Would you
We
go
can have
12,
16.
12 or 16? What would
Or
you
14.
do?
You can choose. I don't
Yeah.
mind. If I've got my 3 rounds, I think it's fair that you choose what you think is best for you. You might say, I want 12 because you'd be even quicker. You might say, actually, I want a bit more padding, can cover myself. It's your call. And I'll be quick to respond.
And Russell.
Yeah.
My professional opinion is 10 ounce is an absolute no
Yeah.
for this level.
Yeah.
12, 14, 16. 16 ounce is a sparring glove. Far less likely to get knockouts or either of you hurt each other, blah, blah, blah. My opinion would be to choose a 12 or 14.
Okay. And the difference between 12 and 14, you would say?
2 ounces.
In certain instances, that's a lot. 2 inches.
A lot.
Not masses. Not masses.
So would you do 12 or 14?
I'm going to say 12 for excitement.
All right. I'll take excitement. 12 ounce.
18 ring, 12 ounce, 3 rounds, fast team. What about
Yeah.
head guards again? You can choose. I don't mind.
Head guards, Darren, what do you think? I mean, I would probably enjoy fighting more without one. But if we
yeah.
butt heads and then there's a great big cut at round 1, that's not going to be great.
We
is
don't
it?
want that. But at the same time, the pictures, if you do beat me, or if I beat you, I'm going to love slowing down that shot. So you got a big fat black head guard on, I can't do.
I mean,
That's my preference, but you can choose.
Oh, okay.
if you both train hard and up your skills in boxing and box each other and there isn't a particular clash of styles, a head clash isn't 100% going to happen.
That doesn't help us, does it?
If you're both,
99% chance.
but if one of you or both of you are absolutely frantic, which now we're at 3 rounds could happen,
I won't be frantic. You saw my white collar when I did 3 rounds before.
there is a risk of a head clash.
Yeah, but you didn't have 50 grand on it and it
It's
wasn't
true.
me.
You choose, Rob.
You didn't know the guy, did you?
You choose, mate.
Yeah.
You choose. Whatever you feel is best from a marketing, a safety, and an advantage perspective for yourself, I'll go with.
Yeah, well, they're all different factors.
Safety
They are.
From a
wise,
marketing point of view, no head guards.
It looks like we're
All right,
pussies.
what about no top?
Yeah?
No head guards, no top.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Can we do that?
yes.
Bit more fun?
That is more fun.
I mean, if you
now I'm
want,
going to have to lose some more weight. I've already lost a couple stone.
Good man.
well, if you want the slow-mo,
Yeah. I think that's fair.
you want the ripple of flab
Yeah,
when
yeah,
I
yeah.
body shot you and it's just moving
That's true, man. No, I don't mind that. I think from a marketing perspective, it is better, no top, so.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. So we've got no head guard, no top, 12 ounce, 18 foot, 3 2-minute rounds, quicker response. Because we have to pay for the venue. We've got 2 days left to pay for the venue. We've booked it.
We can sort that out. We'll sort that out.
Yeah. 3 independent judges, 1 experienced referee. Okay.
Good.
Is that,
Yeah, I'm happy with
they're the
that.
particulars.
I'm happy if
I'm a bit nervous because of the fitness thing, but I just need to train. But mate, you did a bit of kickboxing.
You knew I did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
What?
Yes, you did.
No, I
Mate,
needed-
you don't
you
ask
did-
me a question unless you know the answer.
said
Like
you-
the police.
you said-
I've got your number
You said
now.
you did karate.
I've never done karate, kickboxing. At 20, I'm 44 now,
Yeah.
so I'm giving you 14 years.
Yeah.
I'm giving you about half a ton.
When did you
I'm
last?
giving you
When did you
I'm
last?
f***ing giving you a
Apart
lot.
from since we last spoke, obviously. 'cause
yeah.
I'm sure you did a bit of training since then.
Yeah.
But prior to that,
When did I
you
last do
any
kickboxing?
Yeah.
20. I would have been 23 when I
Okay,
stopped.
so it's a long time ago.
21 years ago.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a long time. And how long
Yeah.
did you do it for?
4 years?
Okay, so you're not like you didn't do it for years. And
No.
years.
But I mean, you could have asked me this when you called me out.
No.
Yeah.
I was just curious. I
Yeah.
thought you did karate, but kickboxing, fair enough.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't worry me. I'm just curious.
Where did all
Yeah.
this call out come from? I know obviously you're competitors in the market, but
Yeah, why
where
did you
this
pick
start?
on me for a fight, you bully?
Well, I'm pretty sure that 3 years ago, you were talking about kicking my ass on some podcast.
Well, someone asked me.
Yeah, so you were talking about it.
Yeah.
And all I said is, oh, you think you beat me up? I said, would you put money on that? And he went, yeah, 50 grand. I wouldn't call that me calling you out.
Of course it was. Yeah, you did call me out. You said, and I quote, "Would you put your money where your mouth is?" Correct?
Yeah, if
that's not a call out.
hypothetical kind of,
Oh,
would you put money on it? And then
you don't hypothetically ask for a fight.
You clearly knew what I was going to say.
You do not hypothetically ask for a
I didn't
fight.
ask you for a fight. I said, would you put money on that? And you went, yep.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, boys ready, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't say it was me calling you out for a fight. When you spoke first about us having a fight.
Well, all right, let me ask you this. If you're being interviewed by Darren on his podcast, and he says, who wins in a fight? You or Rob Moore? You're not going to say me, are you? Of course you're going to say, yeah, I can. It was just an innocent question.
It was an innocent question, but you could have said, don't know. But you didn't.
No,
You
I
were
told
like,
the truth. I told the truth.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out. We'll find out. Now I need to get fit now. Damn. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Slow motion.
19 and a half
You do
weeks
realise
away.
that when I beat you, I'm going to plaster it all over the billboards across Peterborough.
And then when you wake
you know
up,
what- you know how I'm gonna pay
when
for
you
it?
wake up and real life kicks in,
Yeah.
and I dance around you for 3 rounds,
You know how
then
I'm
what
gonna-
you going to do?
You know how I'm going to pay for the billboards? With
No
your
money
50, with
down.
the 50 grand that you
Oh,
give
yeah.
me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah?
So did you just pull 50 grand out of your head? Was it just a random number?
No,
Yeah,
I
I know,
thought...
it's him.
Yeah.
I see it, I see it, yeah.
Well, I thought, if I bet real money that I've got, he won't be able to afford it. So I didn't...
Well, you want to up it
Fighting
then?
talk already.
Yeah?
100
You want
grand?
to up it? 100,
I'll up it.
100 grand.
I'm rewriting all
200
these
grand on the
contracts.
table, bang. We need
Wow.
to change that now then.
100
Damn,
grand.
you were quick to do that, brother. He thinks this through, doesn't he, man?
100 grand.
No,
That's some
no.
serious money.
You
boys.
were picking all this apart. I
true.
thought this, yeah.
100 grand, some serious money.
I'm going to just change that 50 grand to 100 grand now in
Do
case
that,
he
buddy.
backtracks in a minute. I'm glad we've got cameras. Not my cameras though. I'll probably edit this. 100 grand. Good. Good. 12 ounce.
12 ounce.
No top.
No head guards.
You're going to sell me
I'm
your
looking forward to wearing no tops because they'll be able to see my six pack from
No head guards. Change that to a no
3
head
months
guards.
training. Head guards. Where is that one?
Just that one there, buddy.
No. Head guards.
And we're changing from 4 to 3.
100 grand, 2 minutes, 18-foot ring. Cool.
So I'm just going to read this out.
Now I can advertise for even longer on my billboards now.
So we've got Rob Moore, Samuel Leeds. Boxing events will take place July 1st, 2023 at the Brentwood Centre in Essex. We've agreed a ring size of 18 foot, a glove size of 12 ounce, no head guards to be worn by either participant, no vests. We've got 3 2-minute rounds with a 1-minute rest between each. We've got a scoring system of a 10-must system, 3 independent judges and 1 experienced referee to facilitate the contest. And we are going to double the prize fund from 50,000 to 100,000 pound, guys. Some serious money.
Will you sell me your company for £1 when you lose?
I think 100 grand is more than enough on the table, boys.
Yeah. What would you like me to spend the 100 grand on?
You can keep dreaming about how you're going to spend it, but...
All right.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
All right.
1st of July.
You're not going to wriggle out of that date?
No,
No.
it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as all parties are in agreement, there is just one thing left to do, and that is a face-off.
But wait a minute, we've got to
Just to
sign
do.
first, have we?
We can sign now if
Yeah.
you're ready
Yeah.
to sign.
Yeah. Sure you don't need your lawyers?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'll
Do you want
sign
to
that
check
one
the-
because
Yeah,
you've
yeah, yeah.
changed it. I'll sign that
Yeah,
one and then
yeah.
we've got copies.
I'll take a picture of it once you signed it.
Is that you? That just says Sam. Is that your real signature? That
It
is.
doesn't just say Sam.
Yes, does that just say Sam or what?
It's a bit of a squiggly, Sam.
It's a Sam. Is that your real signature?
That's actually S Leeds, that says.
Okay. All right.
S Leeds.
Well, this is my real signature.
Okay,
all right.
I'm just going to witness that.
Yeah.
Could be good. Definitely a good motivation to get real fit.
Yeah.
Let me take a picture of that.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to on my phone real quick. So just signed contracts with Rob Moore, kicking it on the 1st of July. We've agreed 12 ounce gloves,
Agreed.
18-foot ring,
Agreed.
no head guard,
Agreed.
no vest,
Agreed.
3-minute rounds.
3 2
Sorry,
minute rounds.
3 rounds for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
1st of July.
Yeah.
100 grand each, 200 grand in total, winner takes all.
Yeah. 100 grand bet each.
Boom.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
That's a lot more juicy now.
Yeah.
It's very juicy.
Yeah.
Right, let's get
What
a quick
bank are you
face
going
off.
to borrow that money from then?
Dude, I got 5.5 mil sat in my bank right now.
Show us then.
You want to see it?
Yeah. Log on. Let's have a look.
All right, man. All right, man. I'll message my accountant.
Ah.
Hold on. If I show you, then I'm going to have to up it to 200 grand. Fucking hell. Hi, would you be able to send me quickly, if possible, a screenshot of our current bank balance?
Your own personal account or company?
Company. Just across the board. Cheers.
Oh, so you're going to pay me out of a company when you lose, not out of your own personal pocket? You try and make this tax write-off?
Yeah, 100%. Will you not, though?
I thought this was a bet between two men.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how you get the money, does it?
Well, I'd like it to be clean.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it, to be honest, because I'm not anticipating that I'm going to have to pay any money over.
Well, you need to plan in for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is that going to be done? That's not in the contract, is it? How fast the money goes over? It has to be done pretty quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
7 days?
I would say so.
Is that normal, 7 days? Sounds a bit like what you can do, run a big course and try and sell 100 grand's worth of courses in the 48 hours. Oh no, we were fine on a Saturday, aren't we?
4.5.
Oh, so it's less than you said.
Well, I got obviously other accounts and personal.
Not bad. Not bad.
£796.45 in Samuel Leeds Developments Limited.
Yep.
Yeah.
Asset business. You know about that, bro.
There's no assets in it. It's £796. And
Yeah, in my current account. Many millions.
Samuel Leeds
Illiquid.
Property's got 9,900.
The purpose
Yeah.
of a property company is to invest, bro. You know that.
All right. 1.3.
Three?
Yeah.
1.3. That's 4.3, and then
Oh, so it starts at 5.5.
4.3, and then my personal bank.
4.
Another 1.1.
Yeah.
So that's over 5 million.
Yeah.
How much you got in your bank then? I just showed you I got 4.5 milli. How much you got? Are you definitely good for the 100 grand? Let me see your bank account.
Why would I show you my bank account?
Well, you asked to see mine.
Yeah, because you were saying how much money you got in it. I didn't say how much money I got in mine.
All right.
I've got enough to pay you if I lose.
Good.
And you know I'm good for that.
Good.
You wouldn't be fighting me if I was not good for that, would you?
No, if I thought you were a poor man, I wouldn't fight you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
You don't look 6'3". You're not 6'3".
I'm 6'3".
Nah. You're a very short 6'3".
Fine. Yeah.
So turn
You're a
face
very
this
slim
way.
120.
Is that your boxing stance? Oh, that's fucking rough.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. I want it.
Show me what you got.
Well, you won't see it because it'll be so fast.
Oh,
You won't
really?
see it.
Okay.
You will not see it.
Oh,
You won't
wow.
see it. All right. Well.
I also
you
reckon-
brought the excuses.
Not only am I
I'm
stronger
away
than
here.
you,
I'm away
I'm
there.
really
You
stronger
brought-
than you, but I'm also quicker than you. See?
Oh, what's happening there? I've never been called out for a fight, and I've never bet 100 grand on a fight. So if you want to see more of this, you make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. And remember this: if you don't risk anything, you risk everything.